Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bell to Bells, your women's wrestling wire. I'm Mr. Warren Hayes, and thank you very much for joining us here on our YouTube channel or on your favorite podcast application, because today we are continuing our series of talks with wrestlers who have made it on the 2020 PWI Women's 100 list. Someone's excited, and I'm excited too. We're all excited for different reasons. She's excited to be on the list. I'm excited to have a chat with her today. I'm being joined by none other than Laynie Luck. Laynie, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic as well. Look at that. We're excited. We're fantastic. And we're gonna be talking about you. So I mean, that's a good subject of talk. That's a good topic, right? It's a good conversation piece.
I mean, I'm not great talking about myself, but I'm gonna give it my best.
Well, okay, there we go. We'll try together. I'll help you along. Before we get into anything really, the year in wrestling has been 2020. Of course, has been weird. Well, it's been weird for everyone, but I mean, independent wrestling's been hit pretty hard with COVID. How have you been managing over the past couple of months?
Honestly, it hasn't been too bad. It is really boring just sitting inside and not really having anywhere to go besides the 1 or 2 shows a month and training once a week.
Right.
But I could be in a much worse situation and I still have a job and still paying my bills. So I'm not going to complain too much.
That's not so bad. I agree. But I mean, I can understand that maybe you're a little antsy to get back out there because you're about 5 years into wrestling, if I'm not mistaken. And last year you wrestled in 26 promotions. You've had over 60 matches. You had wind in your back, at your back, not in your back. That's kind of weird, but at your back. So, everything sort of slowed down. That must have been a bit of a bummer, nonetheless.
Yeah, it was a huge bummer. I had so many things that I was finally being able to get to do, and that was in the works and planned. And obviously, it all got canceled.
Yeah.
But it's okay. We can, I feel like I've been keeping the momentum going pretty well, even through all of the quarantine and no shows happening and all that. I feel like I've still been able to stay relevant in some sort of way. So
sure.
By the time wrestling gets back to normal, whatever that is, anytime soon, I have full confidence in myself that I'll be right back where we left off.
No, I believe so. I believe as well. And I mean, things are slowly opening up again, at the very least, right? At the time that we're recording this, you just had the shows. You had the shows over at GCW, the Collective, this weekend. And on top of that, I mean, you're the Zelo Pro Women's Champion, right? 425 days. You've beaten out the longevity record of one Tessa Blanchard, right? You're also the Freelance Underground Independent Champion, which is an intergender title, and you're the first woman to hold it as well for over 300 days on top of that. How do you feel? I mean, nonetheless, these are accomplishments. How do you feel about your accomplishments so far?
I mean, obviously, I'm very proud to hold both of those titles because they're my home promotions and they mean a lot to me. It is kind of a bummer that my reign has to be through COVID and that some people could say, they would be wrong, but some people could say that these days weren't earned and I was just kind of hanging out, racking them up. But I would beg to differ. I've been working every day. My physique has never been better. My in-ring work has never been better, even with all these breaks, and I've never been working harder. So every single day in both of these reigns count for me.
Yeah, I agree. There's just some people that are going to need to put an asterisk on everything, right?
Exactly.
They're just going to have to find a little something to nitpick. Well, here's something they can't nitpick on. Over the past year, since October last year, you've fought pretty much a who's who of women, right? You fought Big Swole for the Phoenix of Rise title. You defended your title against Kylie Ray and Shotzi Blackheart. You even fought Tessa Blanchard as well. And I mean, look, a lot of these women, a lot of them still work indie dates. Don't get me wrong. Others have been signed, right? So there's a lot of stuff going around. How do you feel about the state of women's wrestling on the independent scene right now?
Right now, I think it's so good. Like, we've never had, I feel like, the variety that we have now. Like, there are so many different women doing different styles and being so creative and just killing it and going just as hard as any man or any other gender would. And I feel like we're just showing what women and not cis men can do in this business. And I think we're really proving that we have just as big of a sharehold as they do.
I agree. And, there is a lot of back and forth, women ending up on television and heading back to the indies and so on and so forth, ending up on television as well. I mean, it's, you got the title because one dentist had to vacate the Zelo Pro title. I got to ask Zany, what?
Hey, that works too.
Good night, everyone. I guess it was Zelo and Laynie that just became one.
Champion.
Yeah, exactly. But I gotta ask you: have you been in talks for any television appearances, any signings, stuff like that?
Nope, not at all.
Okay.
I mean, it would obviously be cool if someone came knocking on the door or something, but I am a completely free agent and honestly super fine with that right now. I think I'm really finally just coming into my own, and so maybe after the next year I'll be TV ready, but I am 100% okay staying on the indies and making my mistakes out here for a little bit longer.
Fair enough.
And then going to TV when I'm ready, even though you're never ready,
Right.
But I have a little bit more work to do, in my opinion.
Okay, well that's very fair. I think it's a good mark for you to just have that level of self-awareness where you're that you still want to polish your craft before actually making some bigger moves. And like you said, at the same time, the indie scene isn't lacking, so it's not as if you're running out of opponents.
We're having a great time out here, so I'm having fun and having great matches and loving the people I'm working with, so we're all good.
Let's talk about an upcoming match that you have. Just tomorrow, actually, at the moment that this interview is going to end up on the internet, tomorrow you're going to be defending your Zelo Women's Championship at Zelo Pros, the Show Must Go On event, which is going to be Saturday evening, October 16th, if I'm not mistaken. 17.
I think so.
17.
17.
October 17, and which will be also available on Fight TV if you're interested on watching it. And it's going to be against Alex Gracia. Gracia, excuse me. Third time that this is the third. The match has been postponed twice because
third time's the charm.
Third time's the charm. Charm for Alex or charm for you?
For me.
Oh yeah. Is this the first time that you're going to be facing Alex?
No, I've had one other match with her, one singles match. I believe we had one 5-way scramble or something together. But I want to say those are only 2 encounters that we've had.
So it's only one of those 2. Okay, very good. So this time, there is going to be a bit of a rematch here. Do you think that she may be, because we know she's tough, right? Do you think she might have taken some extra time, maybe, over the last couple of times that the match has been postponed, studying tape, getting ready? You think she might be a little more prepared than what you might be expecting?
I mean, I follow her on Instagram and Twitter, and I see her working out. I see her taking her selfies at the ring and posting on her story. But, I mean, I'm doing the same things. And I can tell you that no one's working as hard as I am. You can be working hard, but I can guarantee you not as hard as I am.
So I feel the confidence. You're basically telling us tomorrow evening, it's in the bag. You're retaining your title.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna discount her and get too cocky right off the bat. Like, I know that she can fight, and I know she has a whole lot of little tricks in her bag, but it's just not gonna be enough.
It's just not going to be enough, especially since you've held the title for so long, and you said it. It's one of your two home promotions. Zelo is, so I guess, and as I mentioned, your title reign is longer, is the longest in the history of the promotion as well. So I guess that how do you feel about that? That's a big mark that you're leaving on one of your home promotions.
Yeah, it really proves a lot to me. Like, a lot of people could say that Britt Baker got signed and had to leave the title, and I was the only consistent local girl around. So, like, maybe they thought I was the obvious choice. Maybe they thought it wasn't a real win of the title because it was a vacated title. I didn't beat Britt Baker for it, but this just cements it. Like, I may not have taken it from the previous champ, but no one's gonna take it from me.
Hey, you know what? At over 420 days, 425 days on top of that, I don't think there's a good argument to say that you haven't been a good champion, a solid champion. I mean, anyone who would still be hanging on to anything else is it's just in bad faith. Those asterisks again, Laynie, that we were talking about.
Exactly.
What does the future have in store? Like, let's say everything does come back to normal, whatever that normal is going to be, right? 2021. What's in store for Laynie Luck?
Just a lot of good wrestling. I think I am looking towards doing more intergender matches. I think I just feel like they can just be a lot more fun, and that's what gets the most reach right now, I think, is intergender. So I would love to keep climbing up in those ranks.
Sure.
But I also am just excited for all these green girls that are up and coming and starting to travel and get out there a lot more. I'm looking forward to putting on some really good matches with them as well and helping them along.
2021 comes along, everything is cool. You can fight anywhere in the world. Who's your dream match for 2021?
Ooh, my dream match. That's a big question.
That's a big one, right? It could be a couple of people if we want to be fair.
Okay, so if we can say, like, unattainable, it's probably never going to happen. It would be Gresham.
Okay.
Like, he's my favorite wrestler.
He's good.
At the moment, has been for a year or two. I've really been watching him, and I steal a lot of stuff from him. But,
there's a scoop right there.
I'd be honored to go up against him, and
sure,
with my little flair on things, that would be crazy. Realistic dream match. I don't know that I currently have one. I would love to, like, wrestle the top names, like Kimberly. She was someone who I was compared to a lot when I started in Texas.
Okay.
So I would love to be able to prove myself up against one of the OGs.
Sure.
She's one of the girls I started watching when I started wrestling.
Sure.
So that'd be sick. And I would love a match with Jody and Jamie Senegal. And just, honestly, my list is too long.
It's just too long. You started thinking about it and you're like, Warren, it's a dumb question. We'll be here all evening.
There's just so many, like, different styles. And so, like, I don't have, like, I have a dream match for a lucha match, or for, like, a powerhouse match, or for, whatever. Like, I have different styles of matches that I want with certain people.
That sounds great. That's fantastic. And I hope you get all the matches you want in 2021. That'll be fantastic. Congratulations once again on making the PWI Women's 100 this year. If people want to stay in the know of everything that's happening with you, Laynie, where should they follow you on social media, on the internet? Time to drop your plugs.
So you can get me on Instagram and Twitter at Laynie Luck for both of them. I'm on Facebook, but Not a lot these days because it's kind of yikes over there. And if you want to do more than just follow me and give me some faves and likes and retweets, you can join the party at patreon.com/Laynie Luck, where I do a lot of behind the scenes stuff, so shows that are happening now, and I post vlogs and blogs and all sorts of fun stuff.
And that's fantastic. There you go. So follow Laynie everywhere. You want to keep an eye on Laynie. Absolutely 100%. And good luck with your title defense tomorrow night at Zelo Pro. I hope it goes well.
Thank you. I'm very excited for the match. I think it's one that you guys are going to want to tune into, for sure.
I think so, too. I think it's something we're all going to want to watch. Thank you again, Laynie, and thank you, everyone, for watching or listening, whether it's on YouTube or on your favorite podcast app. Hey, and you know the deal. Like, subscribe, reviews, all that stuff. I don't have to run it through.
Comments, etc. Shares. Let's go.
Yeah, everyone knows it. Everyone knows it. Smash that like button. Whatever the kids say. Anyway, thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you again, Laynie. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.